this is Lori here, and I want a do-over. Don't you wish you ever could just press a button like Back to the Future movie and zap back to your younger self, but with the knowledge that you have now so that you can kind of avoid some mistakes along the way? But today, I'm going to share with you life's greatest lessons, what life taught me so far, and I'm pretty sure they taught you the same lessons too. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell to make sure you're notified of all of my new videos. I post a new video every single Monday. Let's talk. Get ready, ready. So today I'm going to talk about life lessons and what life has taught me. I learned that life is really all about progress and not perfection. I think that we get confused. We think that if things aren't perfect, that they're not going well. When actually, sometimes it's in the hiccups. It's in the disruptions that we learn the most, primarily about who we are. Because we learn who we are under pressure. We don't learn who we are in good times. We learn who we are in bad times. Now, the good times, we use the good times to prepare ourselves for those bad seasons or those seasons of challenges. But we really learn in those seasons if what we were doing prior took. So we learn who we are. So it's not about this image of being perfect and doing everything right and having the T's crossed and the I's dotted. It's not about that. It's about making progress. And so we have to remember that in order to fulfill our destiny or reach our destination, we have to go through the process, the progress, and the journey. And really that's where life happens. Life doesn't happen at the end. Life happens in the middle. The dash, when you go to like the graveyards, the cemeteries, and you see the year that a person was born, and then you see the year that the person passed away, and then you see the dash in the middle. Well, that dash, that's when life happens. And so I had to learn life really is about the journey. Who you are, who you become, how you impact, how you influence, how you take, this is really key, how you take what you've learned, what you've been given, and how you reinterpret that through your filter of gifts and talents so that you can bless the world. Self-pity is a prison. It becomes something that traps you. And so life has taught me to spend less time feeling sorry for myself and more time doing for others. If you want to break out of that, the fastest way, this is what life has taught me, the fastest way to break out of that is to do for others. Because what that does is it re-energizes you and it reminds you that life goes on. It's okay not to be perfect, and that you still have a purpose and the world still needs you. So you turn from looking inward in a negative fashion to looking outward and seeing how can I take my gifts and my talents and push them out to other people. And by doing that, then you receive more from them. So when you focus on giving out to someone and trust God to give you the increase and give back the harvest and give back the manifestation of that, then you can freely focus on being a blessing to that person, because that person is not going to necessarily be the one to repay you anyway. And you're not giving for that reason. Your needs are met. You have to leave that, even if you don't see it. So the fastest way for me, life has taught me the fastest way to get over my self-pity, my pity party, is to turn my focus on somebody else. Because I don't care how bad it gets. Trust me when I tell you there is somebody else that's dealing with a whole lot worse. Trust me when I tell you. You still have a toilet that you can flush. You still have running water. You still have heat and air conditioning. So trust me when I tell you, there's always someone else that's dealing with a lot worse and probably with a better attitude too, right? But I'm learning that I have to live a lifestyle or live a life, a forgiving life, because every single day there's going to be an opportunity for me to be offended, to be angry, to be hurt, to be betrayed. So every single day I have to practice forgiveness. I have to discipline myself to practice a lifestyle of forgiveness. And I've learned for me that if I don't do that, if I don't practice that, if I don't, I'm the kind of person, if I don't shake it off quick, it becomes a bigger problem later. It's a lot easier to stay free than to get free. It's a lot easier to stay free than to get free. And I found in my life the hard way that that's true. So living a life of forgiveness for me keeps me free. It keeps me free. It keeps me from having to be bogged down with going through the process of my wounded spirit, hurt heart, the whole process of being healed. I don't deal with that as much as I used to because every single day I'm shaking it off. Now, does it mean that I deny how I feel? Absolutely not. But I process things a lot faster because I know if I don't, it's going to become a bigger emotional weight later. The best solutions are usually created through problems and pressure. Life is about the progress and the process and not about perfection. And I like to compare that to, like that grape. You ever seen people crushing grapes? What's in the grape needs to be pushed out because what's in the grape creates more value for us. It makes the grape more valuable. It through that pressing, more product is released, more things can happen. And so that's usually what happens for me when I'm going through a problem that also has pressure attached to it. It forces me to focus and create an answer. So to not look at problems as problems, but look at problems as a catalyst to solutions. So for me, I've learned, you know what, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity. It's all about perspective. How you see something is how you're going to respond and is going to dictate the outcome that you receive as a result. So if you look at a setback or a temporary kind of postponement as failure and you look at it as permanent, then you will respond that way. If you look at it as this is temporary, this is going to change, then you respond in that way. So how you perceive something is how you receive it and it's how you respond to it. So looking at a setback or looking at a problem, because we're talking about problems, which can present themselves in setbacks at times, when we see that as a solution waiting to happen, right? If we see that as an opportunity to do better, to grow, then we embrace it in a positive manner and we're able to create a positive outcome. So the last thing I want to leave is, and this lesson that I learned ties into the very first point that I made, is that I had to learn how to not wait for life to begin. I was a kind of person, I think we all are to an extent. I used to think that when this is in place, everything will be great. Or when I get to this point, then I can do this. And what happened was that day never came. So I found myself living in this perpetual state of what if, when my ship comes in. It was perpetual when that day comes, one day soon. And I realized that one day soon was becoming a week, 2 weeks, month, half a year, 5 years, still waiting on that one day. I realized that I was waiting my life away. And that is a mistake. And that was what I did. I was waiting for life to happen to me when I should have been looking at life as life is happening for me. And so I learned life has taught me, and I'm still learning this. Every time I hit a road bump or a snag, I'm still learning that I should not wait for life to begin. Why not start planning now? Why not start finding a creative way to do what you can do in the place that you're in? Bloom where you're planted. Don't wait. Have you ever been walking outside and you've seen like this beautiful flower come up through the crack of the cement? And you think, gosh, how did this beautiful flower end up, surrounded by all this concrete? Because where there's a will, there's a way. That seed germinated in the ground and found an opening to come up through. So you can bloom wherever you're planted until you're transplanted where you're supposed to be. And so I had to learn that. Once I learned that was a key for me. Once I understood and learned that, then I was able to be productive no matter where I was. I used to think that I could only be productive or I could only do certain things when I was in certain environments. And then what happened was I found myself stuck in these, kind of dead zones, so to speak. And so that became my excuse not to work. But I realized that I wasted valuable time. So because when an opportunity did come, I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared because I didn't bloom where I was planted. So I learned through my own trial and error of life that no matter where I'm at in life, I'm going to bloom where I'm planted. That was great, wasn't it? Listen, I want you to stay connected to me and I want to stay connected to you. The best way to do that is to join my online family. And we do things for family we don't typically do for other people. So there's a lot of giveaways, surprises, tips, tricks that will help you in your life and in your business. Be sure to click the link below to join. And don't forget to subscribe to my page. And if you like what you've heard today, click that like button. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.